Hello, welcome back. Box1 here, and you saw the thumbnail. Today we're going to be looking at this. And, well, it's basically every vintage LEGO thing that I have. As of 2020, or the end of 2025 it is. Yeah, I just thought since we're going into 2026, I'll show off everything individually. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Almost everything here has a video of its own, or at least has been mentioned at one point. But yeah, let's get into it, except these things. I don't think I showed off these at all. These are the old LEGO System buckets. I think 1996. Got them for $2.50 each. Anyway, let's get into this. I guess we'll start at the front and work our way back. At the very front, we have this. This is the Airport Victory Lap Raceway and Firehouse 1 boxes. The airport's actually in its box. The other two are on display here, but I just have it in here because I don't have enough pieces to complete either of the little planes, and I just don't have the space really, since it is quite a big set actually. You can see it has 4 or 5 base plates actually. And some pretty cool figures though. I quite like this set very much, and I hope to complete it someday. We can move on here to the Firehouse. Firehouse 1, of course. It has 3 figures, 2 firemen, and then the guy that works in the tower, or just a random civilian. Whatever you want. This flower has fallen off. We can put that right back. But yeah, it has a big sticker over assembly, which I actually had to take off and reapply, which was horrifying to do. But yeah, it's a very cool set. I'm missing only this piece, and then it's going to be completed. For the review of it, I just stole one from here, but I am missing this one piece, and that's about it. We can move on here. This is cool. This is actually 2002, so very encroaching on no longer being vintage, but I still count it up to 2004 or 2005. And Galador, of course. Galador is very cool, and I found the sealed, and I opened it. Actually, there's a video on that with me opening it, which is pretty cool. Here, next, we have this Technic Pneumatic set. This one is actually nearly complete. We do want to order a tube off of Bricklink, because this one's not quite long enough, obviously, and hopefully that'll be nice. And it's missing a couple pieces that I just recolored, such as this one's supposed to be yellow, but still pretty cool. And then this set, which we have the box for, and we have all the wheels for, we're just missing basically everything pneumatic about it, which is kind of unfortunate. So I just store the other LEGO stuff. Like this actually is an old Technic poster. You can see the inside there. Old Technic poster, which is really cool, and then all the Technic stuff underneath it. Next up, we have my first vintage set, as well as one of my favorites. It's probably my top 3 all-time LEGO sets that I own. It is the Victory Lap Raceway, and as you can see, it has a pocket watch on it, but it is a very cool set. It is missing a couple pieces. I actually have a parts list of missing pieces that I'm trying to complete. It's actually quite close to being complete. I also have the Formula 1 Racer, also from 1985. This actual set is from 1988, I believe, or 1987. And it comes with quite a few figures as well. It comes, I think, 13 figures. Could be a bit wrong on the number there, but 13 figures, 2 base plates, some very cool pieces, and I quite like it. Moving on, we get into kind of the lawless region here. We can start with this minifigure Faces pen from, I think, 2000 or 1999. You can see the date on the back, probably. 2001. Close enough. And, yeah, it's a pretty cool set. 2000 soccer bus. This McDonald's polybag, which I found the front piece for and was able to complete. This elephant, which we got in the same thing as this, actually. A very cool LEGO haul that I had in May this year, which was actually amazing. Also got this from it, which is an American or United States exclusive LEGO truck. It's not complete. It's missing a couple pieces. It did have the headlight brick at the front, but I borrowed it to complete this set, which is a 1973 to 75, I forget the exact year, police car, which is very cool. But also I have the tipper truck, which we got sealed and opened here in a video, which is very cool. Very nice set there. We do have a mock. It's a very interesting one. It uses this white string, which was on the actual spool when I got it, as well as this weird hook, which I don't think is LEGO, either the string or the hook. Could be wrong about it, I don't know. But I just grabbed it because I thought that could be really useful for something. And, well, it is. Down here, you can see this set, 6653, this highway emergency van, which I actually reviewed yesterday, or 2 days ago now. And it's a pretty cool little set there from town. Next up, we have all the figures. Now, this is where it kind of gets jumbled together with old and new, kind of. Well, none of it's quite new, but newer. These are all quite old a lot of these. This Paradisa torso, which is really cool. I'm happy to get that. I hope I find a Paradisa set one day. I found pieces to one time. Didn't buy them though, but yeah, pretty cool stuff here. Just some pretty cool stuff. And it has a motorcycle cop, which is really cool. I like this motorcycle. I think I got it for $7, this whole figure and cop thing. I have one of the two police things for the sides. I just need one more. And yeah, I'm quite happy to get that. The more figures over here, we have two soccer figures. This guy does have a number, I forget if it's a number 6 on his back. Number 4 on his back for a old soccer bus. Like this one, but a red one. That came out back in 2000 as well. Some Jack Stone figures, or just related themes. Crewman, and then the Aviator. Another policeman, I believe he's from a Spider-Man set, actually. And this guy, or girl, I don't know, I just put a nice hat on it, which is custom. And then this guy, who is missing quite a few parts of him that I needed to replace on another set that'll be coming up shortly. Anyway, has these two, I think it's XALX, Zalax, I think it's called, Racers theme. These two guys, they are the same figure, which is crazy that I got two of them, but we got them. Very cool Bionicle Red figure. He was originally priced when I found him at $7, and I was like, okay, no, that's not a good deal. He went down twice. I believe it was to $5, and then finally to $3, which is when we got him. Normally he goes online for about $125, but I thought $3's not too bad, and I've been wanting him for a while. Pretty cool. Up here you can see the castle section, which has the Wolfpack figure, classic Black Knight, and then a Falcon Knight. And then moving down, we have my window collection, which I'm still trying to complete. I'm missing quite a few, but a couple are also in a couple sets that I have. So, yeah, pretty cool. We have this Pirates thing here that would be in a box if I could fit it. It is quite long, actually. And then we get on to one of my favorite sections, Classic Space, of which I only have 6 complete small sets, or nearly complete, some of them. But they're very cool. I've recently reviewed all of them because I just recently got them. For a total price of, I believe, $67, 67, you know, with this thing as well. But yeah, they're really cool. We also have this incomplete one that I've been trying to complete for like a year or two. I got the bottom pieces, and I've slowly been piecing the thing together. Probably won't be done for like another year, but little side project. Blacktron 1 figure, which I was able to complete, which is a very cool figure, and I quite like him. And then we can move up to the boxes here. Which also go to the space sets, as you saw. You can see what those boxes look like. Very good, and actually quite nice condition. And then finally, we have some Fabuland. Or not finally, but we do have some Fabuland here. And, yeah, quite a few sets, actually. Usually, mostly those small figure sets. But there are quite a few, and they all are very cool. I do have the little boxes for them inside. They're not technically boxes. They would come in like a plastic front with a back of cardboard. I just have the top of those backs of cardboard. You'd cut the actual main smaller part off on the bottom, which was with the plastic, because it didn't have any detail. But yeah, you can get up to here. This is part of my tablet case, which is shedding and falling apart very, very quickly. But we have this Lego set 113, which I got for actually a really good price. I found it at a vintage, or like antique loft, I guess you could call it, antique place. And well, I saw the price tag. I thought it had an 8 on it, and I was like, okay, is it going to be $80, or is it going to be $18? Is it going to be something crazy? It was just $8. And I was really happy with that, given that online, I think it goes for like 40, maybe a little more, if the box is in really good condition. But it's a basic set. It's a Universal Building Set 113. Came out in 1976, and has some pretty cool stuff. It has most of the stuff that was in the set. It is just missing, I think, 2 major pieces, being the tree, and the antenna, which I don't think there's actually a really good look at. But there is an antenna in the set that is unfortunately missing and very expensive to get. But it has this, which is not broken, which is very nice. I've seen a couple that are broken, but this one isn't. It has some very nice other stuff. The hinges were broken, but I mean, $8 for all this stuff. I was really happy to get it. And yeah, it's just a very cool Universal Building Set that I can do whatever I want with. And I actually had a series on it last September. A long time ago, but yeah, I built every single thing that was on the box, which was a pretty fun little thing to do. Anyway, let's get on to the next thing. And the next thing is these system buckets, of which I have 2 sets. One 776 and set 1776. These would have originally 950 pieces, which is a crazy thing to get. I forget what they were priced at originally, but they were pretty cool. But I got them without any pieces, of course, for $250 each, and I think that's a pretty good deal, given that I'm just going to use them for basically storing, and I actually store my space boxes in there right now, and just random other older boxes that I can not really have any other place for. Next up, my oldest Lego thing that I have from 1963. This is set 420, or pieces of it anyway. It is missing a couple things, but all the major stuff is there. It's just mainly some basic pieces are missing, some cylinders, all that type of stuff. But I've built MOCs out of it. I think my biggest video I've ever had, which is now at, I think, 2,200 something views, which is really cool for me. Biggest one ever. Was actually a MOC that I made with these pieces, which was an old home from, I think, either the 60s or the 50s, which is pretty cool. Under it, we have the base plate that I actually build most of my stuff on with it. And under that, we actually have the cases, one of my favorite things to collect. The blue one actually is from 1984, and the red one from 1985. And if you look inside them, which I'll try and successfully do, this is where I store mainly old sets, as well as some other pieces. And then the bottom red one, which I try to open up here, but may struggle with it a little. It is quite a bit bigger and quite a bit heavier, which is pretty cool. But I got this recently. I think it was at the beginning of the year. But yeah, this actually has a pretty cool story behind it as well. A lot of things I do have kind of an interesting one. I actually found it, and it was the first time ever seeing it at a thrift store. And I saw the price on it. I got really excited at first. Then I saw the price, as I said, $20. And I was like, no, I'm good. Literally 2 stores later, another thrift store, $250. And I've never seen it before, never seen it since. In person, that is. Super cool. And it just stores my extra pieces, all my vintage stuff, my vintage pieces, that is. And a bunch of vintage parts for minifigures as well that I just have piled up here. There's an old Harry Potter torso. I think it's a Ron Weasley torso, although I think it was used for multiple figures. Some Knight stuff, a very cool hairpiece for one of those Exoforce figures, which I do want to get an Exoforce. I actually saw one at a thrift store, but didn't even think it was real Lego at first because I didn't know all the Exoforce lore. How foolish I was. But yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in here. Just some mainly vintage parts. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed. That was a pretty fun little thing to look at, see everything I had, including the stopwatch. But yeah, just some pretty cool stuff. I quite like all this stuff, and if I were to say one thing that I'd want to get more of, hopefully, sometime, it's just these old pieces. They don't have to be extravagant. I just would really like some more of these to do some MOCs with. They're cool, they're old, they're cellulose acetate. I actually have a couple extras in that red case down there. But I just really like them for building MOCs. I mean, they're not meant for anything extremely specific, so they're great for that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I quite like doing these videos, and probably do one at the end of this year as well, 2026. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Also kind of Happy New Year, but goodbye.